like you said, we really wanted to talk about two particular topics: resilience and self-motivation. Now, and those two things are mostly because young people depend on understanding and using those. So let's start with resilience. What is resilience?
Okay, so now this is so important, and I thank you for bringing this up when we had our initial discussions.
Yes.
I really thank you because honestly, this is huge. It's very huge.
Yeah.
Um, Resilience, simply put, is the ability to quickly recover from a crisis or difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
That's resilience. I have a word for it. I call it bounce-backability. Bounce-backability, the ability to bounce back.
Bounce back. Yeah.
So yeah, resilience is not an absence of strife. It's not an absence of crisis because life does not exist without strife, without conflict, without crisis.
Yeah.
That's not true. The real world out there has everything embedded in it, both good and bad, positive and negative, ease and stress. Everything is embedded. That's real life. Resilience then is not an absence of strife, it's not an absence of conflict, it's not an absence of challenges, but the ability to move forward and progress despite those negative situations. That is
Yeah.
resilience. Resilience is a core, a fundamental power of human beings to overcome and to progress in life.
Yeah.
And now, when we don't have resilience, when we don't discover it, life becomes very difficult. Now, why is this topic very important today? It's very important because, society, there are movements, there are things that are viral, there are things that become popular at different seasons in
Mm-hmm.
life. One of them today is what we call emotional fragility.
Yep.
In the bid to help people's mental well-being, um, emotional fragility is being projected out of proportion. And that's the key thing, out of
Out
proportion.
of proportion.
In
Yes.
psychology, there's a place for each concept. But if you trump a particular concept,
Tell me, sorry,
don't others. Yeah.
have
Sorry?
you ever read Jonathan Haidt?
No, what book is
Uh,
that?
well, for one is ooh 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 ooh. Oh God, I can't see. I can't even read.
No, maybe as we
But
go
I've
ahead.
read three of his books, and I have the fourth one
Yeah.
on my bed right now. I'm going to start it next week. See, he
Okay.
has written about this. In fact, he's the foremost expert on this topic about
Oh,
youth.
wow.
Yeah. Okay. But see,
So
I had to
what
read
is
it because
happening?
of
Yeah.
my daughters.
Yeah, and that is, I really appreciate that.
Mm,
Parents that are aware and are improving themselves to impact to those around them, it's very important.
yes.
We can't say, this is how we used to do it, this is what I know, and it ends there. No way. It won't work in the world of today.
Yeah.
So, what is happening is oftentimes, if you look at certain concepts, take emotional intelligence
Mm,
or take emotional self control or the
yes.
word empathy. Take the word empathy. The way society has used empathy over the years and made us to understand is something mushy, being soft, and connecting to other people. And I saw a lot of people try to be to demonstrate empathy because they saw it as a weakness. I'm talking about
Yes.
training managers, senior managers in the workplace. Say, oh, they will take advantage of me, but they say we should be empathetic anyway. So we
Yes.
try to be empathetic. So they saw empathy as me giving way, me being soft and being mushy. And that's not what it is. That's what society connotes it as. But in
Yeah.
psychology, in emotional intelligence, there are three types of empathy. There's cognitive empathy, there's compassionate empathy.
Yeah.
There's what's the third one? There are three types of empathy. The one that people are emotional empathy. People often focus on is emotional empathy. The
Mm,
kind of empathy that you are just being emotionally soft And a counselor or a doctor that is too soft, that has that kind of empathy, if a patient is crying and the counselor may burst out crying with them.
Great, exactly.
And they become useless and they can't help them. A doctor that loses a patient that has a huge dose of emotional empathy will become so weak and distraught that they give up. We've heard of a doctor that committed suicide. In fact, the film was acted on one many years ago because they lost the patient. Now, cognitive empathy is what service providers, counselors, doctors, and others need, teachers, and all that. Cognitive empathy is being able to understand where you're coming from, understand your perspective, yet I'm disassociated enough to make intelligent decisions that can help you.
Yep.
So if the decision to help you is going to be soft, I will make it. If it's going to be tough, but because it's going to help you, I will help you see and make it. And sometimes you may not really appreciate it at the moment because you are hoping for a soft call. But later on, when you are helped and come out, we've seen people come back and say, thank you so much for that. Thank you. I didn't understand or appreciate it then, but now I see it clearly. Thank you for making that call about me. I'm truly sorry about the way I responded. So, cutting back to resilience, the way what a word really means and what it represents would be often misinterpreted by lay users who focus on a folklore perspective that is damaging. So what we have today is an undue emphasis on emotional sensitivity to the detriment of resilience. In fact, now many people begin to think that resilience means what it's not. Resilience means bottling up your emotions, covering up your emotions, and appearing tough. And resilience has nothing to do with that.
Nothing to that. Yeah.
No book on it, but that's what they're contrasting it as. And the result is out there. The result is this. While emotional fragility, that means confronting your emotions, being aware of them, and exposing them, bringing them, and handling them is very key. The result of the overemphasis is that we've built a youth population that avoids discomfort.
Yeah.
Because they feel it means it's going to affect my mental well-being.
Yeah.
We've developed a youth population with reduced resilience. They are not able to manage adversity and to pursue their objectives. Once there's any adversity, someone says, in my mental well-being, and they give up the break.
Yeah. They give up so easily.
Somebody needs to be held, so they give up. Now, I wonder, the result of it again is that people struggle in relationships in the workplace and in business. There's a higher rate, statistically proven, of suicides in the world today more than ever before.
Yep.
There's a higher rate of suicide, breaking up of relationships, people living artificial lives, depending on fake likes and things rather than on real relationships. There's an over-identification with the struggles we have, and we worship our struggles rather than put them in perspective and move forward.
The simple word is victimhood.
That's it.
There's a huge
dependence on external validation.
Yeah.
And it's breaking people apart. It hurts people like me when we see the damage that's being done in the name of doing good.
Yeah.
So